G'day guys, welcome back. I'm going to do a couple of blooms in these two today, and then I'm going to back them with some copper. Haven't done that before, so we'll see how that goes, hey? Right, so first things first, I've got my resin sitting here. It is the Platinum Art Coat, and it's been sitting there for 20 minutes, just thickening up a little bit. I mean, you could pour it into here, but it would take a lot longer to thicken when it's in a shallow area than it is in a thicker area. So, or deeper area, I should say. Now, because I want to do a top coat or a back coat, I just want to make sure I don't put too much in. And I'm going to go and put, say, I don't know, I'll probably put 30 grams, an ounce in my little cup over here. It's just off to the side because I don't have any more room here. Now I'm using, as I said, I'm using the Art Coat, which is a 1-to-1 ratio. And I'll tell you how much I've got in a minute. I'm just weighing this out. 25. Put another bit. Okay, so about 30 grams. Now I'm using my little chart that I made. I've shown you a couple of times now. So I said to myself, I need about 100, probably 70 grams in each, maybe, so 140. So I went with this one here, 142. So I did 75 of A and 67 of B, and that's the 1-to-1 resin. The other one's the 2-to-1 resin. That's what I use for the Platinum 360 Plus. So that's what I've done. Now let's just push this to the edge, and then I'll make sure that they're equal. They've both got the same amount in them. You can see it's a much thicker resin. See how long it takes for that line to close up? If you had a really thin resin, that little line would probably not stay open at all. All right, now I'm just going to have a little look across the top and see how much room I've got. They're probably about half full, so I can go a bit more. I just need about 2/3 in, and then leave a third for the top coat. So I think this will be pretty close, what I've made up. Oh, but I do need to allow room to put that back in, so don't forget that. Don't look at them and go, yeah, there's enough room. Just remember that the white is going to take up a little bit more of your space. I think they're about equal. This one needs a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Last little bit in there. So that's it. Now, I need a piece of paper towel. I haven't torn up all my bits of paper towel yet. I should do that, shouldn't I? I tear them up and then I've got them all ready to go. Now, little torch. So in the meantime, while I'm waiting another 15 minutes now, because I like to pipe at 35 minutes, while I'm waiting, we'll mix up the white. And I'm actually going with like an off-white today. You've seen me use this before. This one, it's by Resin, and it's called White Sand. I'm so used to showing the other way. White Sand it's called, but it's kind of a little bit too yellow, so I'm going to mix it with some white and just get like an off-white. Trying to get some bubbles, but it's you know, it's thick, so yeah, it's a bit difficult to get the bubbles out. And I found that when I spray my mold with alcohol first, my blooms are all off kilter and they're all weirdly shaped, so I'm not doing that anymore. I don't know why, but they just were. So I'm not doing that anymore. Right, let's get on to the white. So I'm going to mix, like I said, I'm going to mix that one, the white sand, with some of the Just Resin Titanium White. But I still need, see, it's quite yellow. I still need just a tiny bit though. Got to be careful not to put too much in. So I'm going to just give that a bit of a stir and then wipe off all the excess. I don't think it's as Actually, no, see, it's not as opaque as the white is, but I think it's still pretty opaque because it looks as if it's got a white base, doesn't it? It's an opaque colour, which means it's got a white base. So give that a mix. Probably need to add a little bit more of that because I do want to see some of the colour, but I'm not going to do it just yet. I'm going to add some white to it. So I just want like a hint of cream colour. And I know I could have put an alcohol ink in it, but I don't have like a creamy colour. And I don't want to put yellow in it because then it would just end up with just a light yellow colour. I didn't want that, so we'll see. We'll just see how it goes, if I can get what I want. I'm just going to wipe that stick off, and then I can put a tiny bit. I'm just going to do that on the end and just see what that looks like. For now, it may not be enough to make any difference, but let's see what it looks like. I can always go back in and add another little touch to it. And I still want it to be quite transparent. It's a little bit difficult to see, isn't it? If I put a little bit on here. No, still really transparent. I'm going to add just a touch more of the white. Just like that. I know it's a tiny bit, but it's only a little bit of resin. So anyway, if you don't want to watch me fuss around with trying to get this colour, feel free to fast forward. I'm not going to drop any inks in. I'm just going to pipe with this colour, and then I'm going to back it with some copper and black, but I'll talk to you about that later on when it's time to do that. So you just really wanted an off-white. I don't know if there is actually like a cream paste, pigment paste. I'll have to have a little look, see if I can find a cream. So that's it there. I might put a tiny bit more of the yellow in, the white sand. Doesn't really look like white sand though, does it? And like I said, it's not very opaque, so we can add a bit more of that. And I think that will do. Put the lid on that one. It sort of looks a little bit too milky, like skim milk. It looks a little bit too washed out. I've dropped a bit in there. It's the problem with mixing right over your work, where you're going to work. Okay, I think I'm happier with that. All right, that's fine. Let's do that. Wipe that stick off. Swap my mixing stick as well while I'm doing that. All right, so that's that one. Now, oh, I haven't got a bag out yet. Goodness me. I'm very unorganized, aren't I? So this is my bag that I'm going to use. And it's too big, so I don't need all that. So I'm going to cut it way back here on a bit of an angle. So discard the top. I'm just going to use that little bit for the bottom, okay? That's all we need. That's going to go in there. Like so. Alright, so that's ready. Oh, I haven't put my alcohol ink in yet. I'm going to add a bit of the Pinata white alcohol ink, and I'll do 4 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So that's that done. Give that a stir, and then that is my white ready. I've probably taken it a little bit more opaque than what I wanted it now, but probably. Anyway, so that's it. Now I have still got 5 minutes to wait until I am ready to pipe. So I will come back to you in 5 minutes. Righto. So it's been another few minutes and it's time now that I can get started. So let's pour this into the little bag here. I probably added a little bit too much of the sand colour. It's gone a bit more yellowy than I was hoping for, but well, wasn't happy with the first one. It looked too wishy-washy, so I added a bit more colour, but it probably just looks heavier because it's in a deeper cup there. All right, take that out. So it feels nice and warm. It doesn't feel hot. It just feels warm. And I'm not going to put too much in there. I'm just going to make a little hole. I usually cut it about 4 millimeters wide, I guess. And I'll just tuck that little twist in. Twist it and tuck that little extra bit. Snip that there. Test it. Yep, that looks good. So when you hold it like that and you get drip, drip, drip. If it's sort of running out really fast, you need to wait till your resin thickens a bit. Alrighty, so I think that's the middle there, and that's the middle there. So what I'm going to do is basically follow the shape of my mold. This is my Poinsettia Mold. It is in my eBay store if you're interested. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the curves and then 5 of the little points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, as I said, I'm going to follow that shape, come down to the center. There we go. I don't know how I'm going to go with this, but anyway. There we go. Oh gosh. Round and round. And then in the middle, I'll give it a bit of a swirl later on. So basically just piping ovals, trying to come up as high as I can to the mold there without it touching the side of the mold. Like so. And then I'm just going to do a little line like so. Hope I've got enough for my second one now. I'm thinking it's just as well I added that extra little dollop, isn't it? I might not have enough now. Might have to go a little bit easier on this one. But I'm not. I'm doing the same. You want them to match. I think I'm doing 5. Am I doing 5? 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think I'm doing 5 little loops. Oops, I should have wound it back up. There's not much left in there. Need to wind it back up again. Oh, there's plenty, plenty. Okay, how's that looking? That's looking good already. Let's make those a little bit thicker. Okay, that's looking very nice. Has this got enough in it? I don't know, this one's got enough in it. And I've missed one ring on that. So anyway, there's a little bit left. So that's good. I was worried that I wasn't going to have enough. clean up my mess. Oh, it's starting to bloom already. Now, my little silicone stick. I haven't really left a lot of room like for a background because I think these are going to fill in quite a lot. So I haven't really left a lot of background room. Yeah. So I think, yeah, they probably will close up a lot. But we'll be able to see a little bit on the edges and a little bit through here. But like if you want to see more background, maybe just do like 3 rings, because I think I've got the middle, and so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I've done 5. So if you want to see a little bit more background, maybe just do 3. Right, so here we go. Let's do this swirl just to bring all that together in the center there. Oh, it's a bit bigger. Probably shouldn't swirl twice. All right, so there we go. So that's basically all I'm going to do for now. Last little torch, cover it so I don't get a fly in it. And then we'll just leave that, hey? It looks as if it is blooming beautifully. Oh, actually, I wonder if I need to just do anything to the middles. Let's do a little, just because there's a bigger blob there where I started, just sort of break that up a bit. I think that's about it, yeah. I keep saying that's about it and then I go and do something else. So that's looking really pretty. Let me get you down a little bit closer and you can see how it's blooming beautifully. So I love this resin for blooms. It's my new favorite because it works every time. I'm not taking it the temperature, I'm just waiting 20 minutes. I'm decanting it. I wait another 15 minutes and then I pipe. As long as you don't make your white too heavy, too opaque, it's usually not a problem at all. So I'm going to use, for the background, I'm going to use some bronze and some black alcohol ink. So yeah, I'll be back in a few hours and we'll do the top coat. See you soon. Righto guys, I'm back. It's the next day and I'm going to do a top coat. These look as if they've bloomed really nicely. Hopefully we'll be able to see enough of the outside that they don't look too plain. But anyway, here we go. I have got, it is the Platinum 360 Plus, and I only needed about 100 grams. So I did 70 grams of A and 30 grams of B. Probably won't even use it all because there's not much left there, not much space left. So I just want to have a little bit, and I'm going to do black ink, and then the rest of it, yeah, look, I won't need all that. I've only probably got about, what, maybe 3 millimeters of space there. So, I thought I'll try for some, like, kind of crackles, maybe. I don't know. When I've done the dragon scales or the crackles, like I've only, used a transparent, you need a transparent, which hopefully my black will be, and then you need a white, which I haven't got, and then you need a metallic, which is this. So yeah, I don't know if it'll work, but I'm planning on just putting the black around the edges and then putting some of the copper next to it, and we'll just see. We'll see what happens. I think it'll look pretty either way anyway. So that's my black. That's just the Let's Resin black ink. And then there's the Pearl X Super Bronze. I think it looks like a nice sort of contrasting colour. And just do a scoop of that. Let's see how that looks. I'm going to mix it carefully so it doesn't go flying everywhere. All over your mould. You do have to mix it really well. It's actually a good idea to put the pigment powder in first into an empty cup and then pour the resin over the top. That way the powder gets trapped. But I always forget. Always. One day I'll remember. And that way it just helps it mix better and it doesn't fly up into your face and get over everything. It's a really pretty colour, isn't it? I thought it would look nice with the cream. And if these colours work nicely together, I might use them again with maybe I'll just try a crackle with black and cream and bronze and a bit of brown maybe. We'll see. Okay, I think that's mixed in enough. You have to mix your micas really, really well. We'll let that sit for a minute. And if there's any loose particles, they'll come up to the surface. All right, let's get this black. And I'm just going to pour around the edge. Like I said, there's really not much room left. Try not to overflow it. Whoops, I can't see where I'm going because my hand's in the way there. Just in that one spot. I couldn't see where I was going. Okay, so that's it for that one. Let's do the same with this one. I'm getting as close to the edge as I can. I haven't waited with the resin, I just mixed it and then turned on the video. So it hasn't been sitting or anything. It's not one that I need it to be thick. Okay, that's that one done. Now let's just make sure that it's gone into all the little edges there. This one needs to just go in a little bit more. Okay, so that's it. That's still it's still transparent. And then this one, I'm just basically going to fill it up. I have to find something else to do with this extra resin, won't I? Because I won't need it all. What if I just put a little bit here next to this? See, I don't know that there's enough resin to do the, you know, pulling in and pushing back and all that. Let's do this one. This one can be a bit different. We'll do that. Oh gosh, way too much. Way too much. I don't think it'll make any difference. Let's just push that up. Hopefully I haven't poured too much in. I got a bit carried away. It'll certainly be doming on the edges. This one's could probably have a little bit more. So there we go. All right, so now I'm just going to wait and see what happens. This one, and we'll see. We'll see if the black kind of moves. I don't know. I don't know if there's enough black there for it to move or not. I have no idea. Yeah, we'll just leave it like that. Hey, see what happens. See what happens. Either way, it'll have a nice black edge, which is what I was after. And then a little bit of copper. Let's give that a bit of a torch there. And yeah, we'll wait and see what happens. This one's definitely domey. You can see the top's curved over, rounded. This one hasn't quite yet. Have a tiny bit more. That was pretty good actually. I thought I was going to have way too much. I've only got that's pretty empty and I've got a tiny bit of black left. Oh, but I have got that. Yeah, a little bit there. not enough to do anything with, unfortunately. I'm in the process of making a new mold, so it'll be a really nice one to do little bits and pieces in, but I'll show you that on another video. Now I am just going to bring you down, get my gloves off, because I want to show you it's kind of starting to, I don't know whether it's starting to do anything on the edges there. I'm kind of hoping they'll blend a little bit, but yeah, like I said, there's not enough resin in there and deep enough for the resin to, you know, get pushed back and then pushed back in again and create the dragon scales, striations. I was going to say scales and striations at the same time. But anyway, we will be back and unmold them later on tonight, hey? So yeah, see what happens. See you soon. Righto guys, it's the next day and these are set up. So let's get them out. A little bit of overflow there that I'll have to just trim up. All right, let's pop them here. I'll get that out of the way for a minute. All righty. Oh, let's see if I can zoom you in a tiny bit more. All right, let's have a look. Put that one over there for a minute. I wonder what it's going to look like. Oh, I'm really excited. All right, here we go. Let's have a look. Oh, wow. That's really pretty. I didn't exactly get the black edge that I wanted. Got a little bit of black on the edges there, on the tips, but I didn't think it would work being so thin, because I had such a thin little amount of the top coat. But those are really pretty, aren't they? Would it look nice with like a little bit of metallic copper stone in the center? That would have looked pretty, hey? Let's have a look at the next one. It's probably going to be the same. It is. Oh, it's still really pretty though, isn't it? I don't know how I could do get the dragon scale. Unless I'd used a much deeper mold, I could probably do it that way. This mold's only 8mm deep, so probably can't get the dragon scale effect. But they're still really pretty. I really like them. What do you think? Let me know. And they've bloomed beautifully, haven't they? They're so pretty. Love them. But yeah, a little bit of copper maybe in the center. But see, I do that and I think, oh, I should have left it just a swirl. Oh, there's no pleasing me sometimes. All right, that's them. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think of these guys. I think they've turned out really, really pretty. Go in for a bit of a close-up there so you can see the swirls. All right, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you real soon for the next video. Okay, bye for now.